Well, folks, finally get into this 1734 video. This is not the 1734 video. This is just me, I guess. What do you call these? Vlogs? A little update thingamajiggers? No, well, it'll look like this. I'll have my happy face on, and yeah, I have to show screens and all that stuff, but I can't do that easy on this. But yeah, just trying to work out in my head what I am doing today. And, I think, this is one of those rare exceptions. I always tell vendors, vendors are always like, I got a new product. How can I get a video on it? I'm always like, well, when it's 3 to 5 years old, give me a call, and then we'll talk about it. Because it needs time to kind of get out in the industry and for people to have problems with it. And then we can talk about it. I always say, every vendor says that there will never be an issue with their product, but eventually there will be a problem with every product out there. But it doesn't happen when they're new. But I really think that this lineup right here may be a very natural transition. We do a lot of talk about converting our device net and our control net over to 1734 Ethernet. And really, this stuff's 25 years old. That's an amazing life cycle. And then now we have the 5034. So, we're going to talk about taking our 5034, even our Ethernet based ones, and how do we migrate those, or 1734 ones, and migrate them to the 5034s. Also had several questions come in on yesterday's motor starter video where we kind of exposed a little bit about how we do the, a little bit of the brakes. First of all, somebody asked, will I give the wiring diagram for this? Absolutely not. It is not that it's proprietary. But you've all seen the sign, the shirt that says, I void warranties. Yeah, this trainer is one that voids warranties. So this one is designed to simulate motor brakes, which overloads the PowerFlex 525, overloads the motor, shorts it out, does all types of fun things. And so, no, this one, we don't, you probably won't ever find me actually showing a full video on how this one's built. Several of y'all questioned about how I was doing the test yesterday. And so it has to do with the way this one is wired, and to minimize the voltage really that you're exposed to, the motor and the power come into the bottom of it. That way we can switch those off easy. And this top part, for the most part, we can completely isolate. And so what you saw me do in that video was just break this switch, and I left, the trainer's not turned on, the light was on. And so that allows this to be connected to the motor. And why did I do that? Well, one, because it's easy to prop the meter up over here. These are deeper, it's hard to get the meter into. It's just easier for me to measure the motor when we're kind of demonstrating how to do it over here. So that's the only reason. Other question on that is, actually this one came up on the original motor test video after I sent one of you to it, is, I kind of stress doing the insulation test doing the resistance test every time, instead of just jumping to the Megger test, or the insulation test. It's not actually a Megger test, it is an insulation test. Megger's a brand. But a lot of you are like, well, why not just go ahead and do the Megger test? Gosh, I keep saying it anyway. Insulation test anyway. And even right now, it is chaos in here right now because we are upgrading trainers. But if I look around, yes, notice the meter that is out right now is this T61000. So really, I don't pull the 1587 FC out usually until I actually need it, when I actually have a problem that I need to do the insulation test. Because I bet you this thing's been dropped 10 times where we're sliding things around and everything, and I do need to take care of this. But I would rather have an accidental break of a T61000 than a 1587 FC. So I think this is the one that you'd have shoved in your back pocket, and you could just quickly do the insulation test. Then you could quickly do the resistance test, then go to the insulation test. Now going back to how a 4-minute video takes way more than 4 minutes is, actually while I'm doing it, because it doesn't seem like they're the same, but I'm actually gonna do a video on transformers and a video on the NFC part of the 5034 at the same time, because just to explain a little bit about why it's called near field, and it's not like it's beaming across the room, but if you didn't know, if I bring this really close to this, and this light will start to light up, and that's kind of one, how transformers work, but this is also how the NFC works. Really, that's to explain. Really cool feature is there's a mark on here where the NFC is at, and you can take your phone. Well, you can't see me do it, but I can take my phone and tap it, and it should be able to read it without any power on. Now, in the case of my phone, I can take my case off and do it, but if I leave my case on, it doesn't work. It's just a little bit too much distance. So mainly, while I'm at it, I'm going to try to explain, a little bit of the why of, hey, probably take the case off your phone when you go to do this. Or maybe I just don't know exactly where my transmitter is too. Probably could Google that. But yeah, I found if I take the case off my phone, it works every time. Down weeks are always kind of like Christmas here. We get to play with all types of cool things. And yeah, so I got a new label maker. We're going to be talking about some panel labeling. That is actually the last video of our panel building series. And we never quite got it done because I really wanted to showcase some features that I didn't quite have a hold of yet. And so, yeah. We'll be doing a panel labeling video, kind of talking a little bit about materials and all that fun stuff soon. And, finally at the record session, 2 days later. Yeah, we're an hour and 14 minutes of content. We'll see where we end up at. And needs a little fine trimming, but yeah. 40 minutes of me saying stuff wrong or fumbling around probably. Folks, we really do have a good community. So just want to share a couple things. Thank you, Alicia Lomas. Alicia Lomas sent a card in along with her stickers. Also, Rockwell Automation. We got the Flex Effect buttons. We got Renee. I need to find a place for my new Groove Rio sticker. What are you doing in here?
I'm working.
Working?
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, I think I am too. You want to go out on a date?
Yes.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend.